Did you know 95% of kids with gender dysphoria grow out of it if they're allowed to go through puberty? By allowing natural hormone changes to occur, their mental state evens out and they become comfortable in their own body. In other words, genocide.
Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, I want to highlight the amazing work of freedom fighter on YouTube, Freedom Tunes. You saw a clip of this video about kids who have gender dysphoria, and studies just came out, 95% of them grow out of it. Interesting. So I think this cartoon, it's done in such a great way. The comedic contrast in it it's great, but also carries an important message. So I want to play that in just a second. But first, why are we doing this? Well, we can celebrate that the LGBTQ pride flag has changed once again, as reported on Twitter. You can see this is the new one. I don't know who organizes this. There's like a council, like a board of directors somewhere, but it's changed for the 4,000th time in the past 3 months. Apparently this one now includes everyone except you. And the freedom tune that we're going to see about trans kids, it's extra relevant because you can see this breaking news. Austin City Council, biggest, nearest major city where I live. Haha, proud of this. Austin City Council just voted to become a sanctuary city for gender-affirming care for minors, not adults who are making decisions with a developed brain, but minors, the same kind of people that are not allowed to get a tattoo because their brain's not fully formed enough to make a permanent decision like a tattoo. That's why it's outlawed. Austin, sanctuary city for minors who want to permanently alter their bodies. Okay, now to the video that I love. Great message. It's funny. By the way, you can see it's Freedom Tunes on YouTube. Check them out. Their stuff is phenomenal. I'm a major fan.
Did you know 95% of kids with gender dysphoria grow out of it if they're allowed to go through puberty?
I like that. If they're allowed to go through puberty.
The fact that this has been withheld from us is the greatest scandal of our time. You heard that right. When you don't put a trans child on puberty blockers and then hormones, 95% of the time, they become cis and avoid taking hormones, having their genitals surgically altered, and a significantly higher suicide rate. This is trans erasure.
Trans erasure, this natural phenomenon in the body, erases the trans out of the body. I like that.
That's right. Puberty is erasing thousands of transgender children every single year.
Gotta ban puberty because it is transphobic.
By allowing natural hormone changes to occur, their mental state evens out and they become comfortable in their own body. In other words, genocide. And
I like it. By the way, as we're watching this, I'm not going to interrupt that much, but I do want to highlight the great comedic contrast of flipping the script where puberty is the bad guy. Like nothing could be more natural. Yet we make that the bad guy. It's an unnatural thing because it's creating trans eraser. That's great thinking.
It gets even worse. Not only are 95% of trans people erased by puberty, but that only includes children who knew they were trans. What about all of the people who were never put on puberty blockers simply because they were unaware they wanted them? Now, some say preteens are too young to consent to puberty blockers, but then aren't they too young to consent to puberty?
That's a good point. That's funny.
Same way that they're not old enough to consent to being sober, or how they're too young to consent to not seeing porn. Puberty is an act of genocide because it erases trans people from existence.
Forcing them, because a Republican lawmaker needed it to get elected, to go through that puberty that to me is genocide.
That's right. Genocide is when you develop the ability to spread your genes. This is well documented, as the Nazis genocided the Jews by injecting them with fertility-boosting drugs, and the Turks genocided the Armenians by encouraging them to have more children. Slavery is when you pay people and lobotomies boost your IQ.
They are playing so well the 1984 science fiction that's trying to be imposed through the narrative and PC culture. They're really highlighting the 1984-ness of what's going on. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first a question. Do you want to burn more calories to lose weight, or detoxify yourself because you're swimming in a sea of toxins, or relieve stress because life is hectic and stressful? Well, let me tell you this. One of the most effective ways I found to accomplish all that and more is using the Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket. There's huge benefits to using an infrared sauna, and the Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket is the most cost-effective and convenient way to do it. It's super powerful, it heats up quickly, and it's easy to clean and put away when you finish your session. That's why it's my go-to. Personally, I do 40-minute sessions in my sauna blanket 3 times a week while I'm listening to podcasts or audiobooks, and I always feel fantastic after my session. Bond Charge ships worldwide in rapid time, offers easy returns and exchanges, and comes with a 12-month warranty. And get this, all Bond Charge products are HSA FSA eligible, giving you up to 40% tax-free savings. Upgrade many aspects of your health all at once with the Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket. Get yours at bondcharge.com/JPReacts and use discount code JPReacts for 15% off. Enjoy. Now back to the video.
As bleak as this all might seem, there's hope. We can save these children from genocide by ensuring they're sterilized as early as possible. After all, if children can't consent to puberty, they can't consent to the brain patterns that make them not want to be trans. We need to liberate them from all of it.
Well, this is brilliant. They're just describing tyranny, complete totalitarian control with woke rationalizations. I love that. This is your liberty, but it's actually tyranny. I'm pointing out the obvious, but I love it.
Measures that allow every minor who asks for chemicals to be able to have them. If you don't, the trans movement will all but disappear.
I love that. It's funny, the comedic contrast, the flipping the script, while obviously having a very important message. I love that. And I'm biased. I'm a comedian. I do this in my own way with my material, but I think it's something I'd love to see more of. That's why I love that Freedom Tunes does this, because it makes the message more palatable. It's not someone screaming the message at you. It's presenting it comedically in a way that makes you think, because you have to dissect their lack of logic. So then you understand, well, I just dissected the lack of logic that the woke narrative-based community is using. So I love it. Check Freedom Tunes out on YouTube. And my dear freedom-loving friend, I appreciate you for watching this video. I will look forward to seeing you on our next one.